Do you know what? I think this is going to be Islam's toughest fight that we've seen recently. I think that stylistically, Garry is a pretty bad matchup for him, to be honest. He's long, rangy, moves really well. You don't often see him getting taken down and held there. Super tall, super elusive, elite striking, judges the distance really well. He's young, he's fresh, he's not had loads of damage or anything like that. He's not got a lot of miles on the clock. But then we're talking about Islam Makhachev, mate. In my opinion, pound for pound number one, or in the argument at the minute for that. Once he gets hold of you, you're done. He's got that left head kick. People are saying, there's reports across the board, that he's the strongest person that people have ever fought. Apparently he's so physically strong, which is something that you can't see on TV.
Well, just from a wrestling perspective?
Yeah, I think that's something that you can't really see. I mean, when you watch an opponent, right, you can always see the speed that they move, the techniques that they use, and the game plans and all that kind of stuff. What you can't see is how strong somebody is physically. I've seen multiple guys, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje and people like that, saying that, wait, has he even fought Justin Gaethje? Don't think he has he? He mustn't. No, must have been somebody else. Must have been somebody else. But I've seen multiple guys say how strong he is physically. And once he gets older, guys, they don't seem to be able to escape. Garry, though, very tough guy to get hold of. Moves his feet really well. Does everything good. And I think people overlook him. But mate, the guy can fight. The guy can definitely fight.
The GOAT. So I don't include Jones and Anderson Silva. I don't think if you have any type of drug testing issues, you don't get to be in the GOAT conversation. It, for me, boils down to Khabib and George St. Pierre. But I think Khabib because undefeated. In fighting, it's so easy to lose, especially in Russia. Because when you're 5-0, 6-0, you're fighting absolute killers. You're fighting killers early. It's easy to make a mistake and lose. Hey, think about this. John Jones, for as good as he is, he has one loss. Why? He made a mistake. Khabib never made a mistake. He went through this whole thing.
And Khabib domination.
Dominate.
John made close fights.
But he never made any mistake. Never got himself disqualified, never got caught in a submission, he made no mistakes. 29 times to walk to that octagon against the best guys in the world and win 29 times. I don't even really know why more people don't share this opinion. Because George St. Pierre, George St. Pierre has 2 or 3 losses.
3 or 4.
Yeah. Demetrius Johnson, one of the greatest, he has losses. This guy never lost.
Cejudo lost.
Cejudo, everybody lost. He never lost. That's
Islam won.
Islam is even Islam, as good as he is, made one mistake, right? And he's as close to Khabib as anyone. To never lose, dude, it's crazy. Especially in the beginning of his UFC career when he didn't have great striking. He was really relying on his wrestling, and he never lost. I think it's crazy.
Islam Makhachev looking to extend his record to 17 wins. If he does that, he'll have the longest winning streak in the history of the UFC. Right now, he's tied with Anderson Silva at 16. So, Islam Makhachev looking to break some records this weekend.
And what's making it more, Anderson was crazy, his record, but what makes it more impressive is he's clearing out weight classes, He's beat the best 45er, cleaned out 155, went up, took the belt from the 170. That's what pound for pound really is.
Yeah.
Anderson Silva did go up in weight, but he wasn't fighting for the belt.
Yeah.
He did fight Cormier, and that was after I had fought him and stuff, and he was a very, very close fight, competitive.
But when he went up in weight, he went up and he kind of fought. He didn't fight the best of the best.
Yeah, but when Anderson
never
also
wanted to fight John Jones, I remember him saying.
But the majority of his wins and this record that he has was title defenses too.
Anderson, yeah.
Which is that's a different level. I think it's really hard to defend your belt that many times.
Yeah.
You could go back.
Every time you're fighting the absolute best.
The best guy, and they already know what you do, and they've been working on everything to capitalize.
But I get that, but we also got to look at
the quality,
depth of division. right? So like the depth of the guys he was fighting in the division does not compare to the depth of the guys.
But only in hindsight. I feel like only in hindsight. So it's hard. Like Rich Franklin was the man at that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
So
talking about it,
Chris Lieben was fucking a scary motherfucker.
If it wasn't for Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin would have had that belt for a while.
Yeah, he was a beast. Like,
talking about
so that's why it's hard to go back and think of, like, if you look at any division back then, there's very few divisions that still get love from fans now, because of course now it's deeper and there's great fighters and people are more well-rounded. But if you look at Anderson Silva, what he was doing when he did it, I think that's still Prime Vitor.
I mean, yes, you're right. I mean,
he went up in weight once.
He did go up in weight.
He beat Forrest.
He beat
the
Forrest,
relaxation, how relaxed you could be on the feet, bro. Still today, I don't know if there's anybody like it.
Chael Sonnen twice when Chael was out of his mind.
Who's just gonna juicing up,
more juice than a
takedown clinics.
Bro,
you know,
come on.
I mean, listen, I'm not taking anything away from Anderson. I mean, he beat Dan Henderson. Like, his resume speaks for itself.
And Dan was the man.
Choked him out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I mean, but I think that, but our esteem towards him, I think, allows us to not really give Makhachev the credit that he deserves.
No, he deserves credit, but I don't think we should. I don't think it always has to be a comparison of the two. Like, just because they got similar records and winning streaks, I don't think it needs to be like this comparison where like who's
I know, and
like Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah, we unfairly do that. But what I'm saying is, like, if we say, okay, let's do the Mount Rushmore, everybody's gonna have Anderson on it, but no one's gonna have Islam on it.
Yeah, I think people have.
Well, the newer fans for sure. I also do think we used to the way we used to decide on who like the greatest of all time is, and that Mount Rushmore was like the amount of championship wins that they had, streaks. Like, so Demetrius Johnson's up there, Anderson Silva's up there. Now, like, a streak like Islam is super impressive, but he's got 3 defenses at welterweight, I think, and then he's got one. He's about to defend it for the first time at welterweight.
Yeah.
So he's doing something different. He's becoming a double champion.
And one of his defenses was against a 45er.
Twice.
Yeah.
So like you could beat up everybody's. You know, you could go up and down. You could pick apart everybody's thing. You know.
How was it when you finally became double champ? Because I know Habib couldn't do it. Nobody else in your camp has ever done that. Once you secured that, how did that feel?
Feel great. Something's new, you know, for our team also, for our country also, you know. Become to double champ for my life. It's my dream, and I always, when I fought in lightweight, I'm like big for the lightweight, you know, and always I had not some problem, but always have to follow the diet like 2 months, and you know, now when become welterweight, it's life is differently changed, you know. I enjoy everyday training. Still now, like 1 week before the fight, I eat and I come with all team to the sauna. I go with like team to the restaurant or sauna, you know. I enjoy every moment from the camp.
The end is near, and as Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry get ready to face off against one another in the much-awaited fight, the matchup continues to become more and more unpredictable each day. As such, the biggest debate in the bout lies on the style, strategy, and whether or not one can dominate the other through his strength. Michael Venom Page and Din Thomas have both weighed in on their predictions on the match, making it even more interesting as the MMA world continues to talk about this matchup.
He's also a really tall, lanky welterweight himself. So to play the long game and fight on the outside is something that is going to be extremely difficult to do against a guy like Shavkat, where I honestly think Ian Garry may have an advantage in the striking and the range department going into this fight against Islam. Islam does very good in the pocket, does very good when he's able to close distance, but Ian Garry is very good at being able to fight on the outside and avoid his opponents being to close distance on him. I mean, I've experienced it firsthand, so I think that's something that's going to play a pretty big factor going into this fight for Ian Garry. If he can maintain that distance against Islam, I think he can kind of frustrate him and literally catch him in the fight as well, I think.
Okay, so do you think he wins, or is Islam taking it?
I think Ian Garry might pull out the upset. I mean, I know a lot of you might think that I'm crazy for thinking this, but if I had to be a betting man, I'd pick Ian Garry for the upset going into this.
I am not fence-sitting this fight. I am not worried for Islam Makhachev. I am going to confidently pick Islam Makhachev to beat Ian Machado Garry by unanimous decision. This may be the first time in the channel's history I drop a video where I say I'm not worried about a main event, but I just truly believe in the plot armor and the abilities of Islam Makhachev, and I'm gonna break it down for you guys today, okay, dude? I'm gonna change it up, all right? I'm not worried for Islam Makhachev, even though I think there are a lot of valid reasons to be worried, and I think there's a lot of reasons that are quite smart that I've heard from other people of why they're picking Ian Garry or why they think he has a very good chance to win this fight. And I totally understand that. I could definitely see people being worried about his striking technique, right? And his fight IQ and his ability to kind of circle at range, and no problems from Ian Garry in terms of being a terrorist of the sport, just spamming little leg kicks and moving. He has no problem doing that. He will do whatever it takes to win.
He showed me a good ability to keep from being taken down to the floor. Now, I think that Makhachev is even better, a little bit, but still, to show me that ability with Bilal, that he has that defense for the takedowns, that's what I had to see. I said, okay, wait a minute. Then maybe he's got a chance to stay on his feet. And with his physical attributes that he already has, advantages, it's hard to look at advantages when you're fighting a guy as dominant as Makhachev, because you just look at Makhachev's advantages. He's a monster. But then you look at Garry, you say, wait, there's an awkward cleverness about him. There's something about him. There's a confidence about him. But he's tall, he's long. He's a good striker, you know. And like I said, Makhachev is a pretty solid striker. He is, especially when he uses his jab. And he keeps his feet under him. He doesn't get out of position. He's always set. He doesn't really reach in too much. But he will a little bit. And if you have a guy like Garry, who's that tall, and he's explosive, he's very athletic. My God, with his kicks, he really is. He's like acrobatic sometimes for that kind of height, that kind of physical, you know, those, as I said, those physical gifts that he has of being tall and long. He's rangy, but he's athletic with it. And when I watch him, he's got the ability to control distance because of those physical assets and his kicks, those long legs. And that gives him a chance to catch Makhachev while standing and striking before Makhachev can get in range to catch him. Gives him a chance with the jab, gives him a chance with the straight right hand, set the table with the jab, you know, eat with the right hand, gives him a chance again with the kicks, gives him a chance to control the outside. Gives him a chance to maybe walk Makhachev through a bad neighborhood and try.
But that significant striking strength may not be enough for Garry, says Michael Venom Page. As much as Page expects Ian's speed and movement and his distance control ability to cause some trouble standing, he expects Islam's grappling to be the toughest challenge in the fight. As far as Page is concerned, it might just take Islam one good takedown to totally alter the course of the bout by putting Garry in a place where he is always defending himself. But what worries Page is whether Garry has the scrambling and defending ability that he needs to make it through Islam's offensive game.
Islam Makhachev looks like Ian Garry potentially is getting that shot. How do you think that goes?
Striking wise, I don't believe he's gonna be able to deal with Ian. It's more because of the distance. He's very quick, but it's the grappling element. I think he only needs to get him down once. So he's a difficult guy to get down, but JDM, that one surprised me simply because his scrambles are the best in MMA. He's been on the floor with some top jiu-jitsu guys and they can't get submitted, and that shows you how good his scramble is. Whereas I don't think Ian's got that level of scramble or that level of defense to go against Islam.
Moving the conversation forward from the question of individual ability, Din Thomas makes the point that what makes Islam and the Dagestani fighters great is the intensity they add to their training and competition. Wrestling, according to him, is known to have become a universally accepted base for mixed martial arts, but is not the sole factor responsible for the success of wrestlers in these sports. It is rather their intense approach and their ability to fight through for positions that make them superior. The Dagestani style, according to him, has brought the same approach to the mix with all MMA skills in place. According to Thomas, Garry has one weapon that might make all the difference for him: his leg speed. Although he considers Makhachev to be a more disciplined and well-coordinated striker compared to Bilal Muhammad, who was beaten by Garry, Thomas considers the Irishman's ability to trouble Makhachev through his movement and kicks. Instead of focusing only on kicks, he highlights the speed at which Garry moves his legs, switches angles, controls distance, and launches attacks from outside. It may be a front kick, an oblique kick, or just his movement making Makhachev chase him around, but the speed of Garry's legs could be the key factor for the victory. Even though Thomas feels like Garry has many advantages due to his skills standing up, he still feels that Garry will lose because of the ways Makhachev will be able to find out. Thomas thinks that while Garry will definitely show good results in the beginning, in particular in the first round, later on, he won't be able to cope with the pressure which will be put on him because of grappling of the champion. Thomas claims that when Garry starts fighting in the ground game for some time, he might start losing gradually. The case of Jack Della Maddalena was used as an example of such fights. This prediction brings up the greatest dilemma for Garry, which is how does he prevent Islam from making it a wrestling match? According to Luke Thomas, the solution lies in the ability to defend the takedown. He says that Garry cannot just accept the position should Islam manage to take him down. Rather, he must scramble back up on his feet and wrestle his way out of it. However, Thomas states that Garry's defense has much more to do with the setup of the takedown than the actual takedown itself. According to him, Garry's footwork, jab, distance, and his positioning away from the fence will give him the best opportunity to keep the fight in his favor. Taking this idea a step further, Luke believes that Garry's best hope is to make sure that he uses his physical strength and skill set to create a perpetual problem for Islam. For Luke, it would depend upon long-range strikes, takedown defense, and controlling the space inside the octagon, including making sure that his back remains away from the cage. Garry does not simply retreat, but uses his footwork to create opportunities for trapping Islam and landing his punches, and then making him chase him by angling off. Thomas concedes that it is tough to envision any fighter doing that against Islam, but believes that Garry will have to do it to survive. Moreover, Teddy Atlas sees Makhachev as a completely different challenge once the fight reaches the mat, describing him as a truly elite grappler, even though he also respects his striking. Still, Atlas believes Garry has shown enough in recent fights to make this matchup interesting. He points to Garry's wins over Bilal and Carlos Prads, noting that Prads brought dangerous power and explosive offense. Even though Garry appeared to fade late against Prates, Atlas says the fight revealed something important. Garry can absorb punishment and keep going. For Atlas, that toughness and physical durability could become crucial if Makhachev manages to drag him into deep waters. Atlas's confidence in Garry grows even more when he looks at the Irishman's takedown defense and physical tools. He points to Garry's performance against Belal Muhammad as evidence that he can keep the fight standing, even if he believes Makhachev is an even greater threat in that area. Atlas says Garry's height, length, athleticism, and unusual creativity give him a unique advantage at range. His long kicks and ability to control distance could allow him to land before Makhachev gets close enough to initiate his grappling. While Atlas recognizes how dominant Islam can be, he believes Garry's physical gifts and striking range give him a legitimate opportunity to make the champion work for every entry. While several experts see a path for Garry to make this fight difficult, Bedtime MMA is far more confident in the champion. He openly admits there are legitimate reasons to favor Garry, especially because of his striking technique, fight IQ, range, and willingness to constantly move and attack with kicks. However, he still sees Makhachev as the safer pick and predicts Islam to win by unanimous decision. In his view, Garry's ability to make the fight awkward and frustrate opponents is real, but it may not be enough to overcome Makhachev's overall skill set and ability to adapt. For Bedtime MMA, the champion's strengths simply outweigh the danger Garry presents. He believes Garry could steal the early rounds, but Makhachev's wrestling will ultimately decide the fight. He expects Islam to repeatedly get Garry down and become more effective as the bout progresses. Bedtime MMA also rates Makhachev's boxing highly, especially his jab, straight left, and body kick, which could help him take control once the distance closes. With Fight Night almost here, the big question is whether Garry can pull off the upset or if Makhachev will once again prove why he's one of the most dominant fighters in the game. Let us know your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more fight breakdowns, predictions, and the latest updates.